initiative na nakikipagbayanihan po sa gobyerno, lalong-lalo na po sa larangan ng testing. Kasama na po natin ngayon, nasa waiting room, papasukin na po natin sa ating screen si Presidential Advisor on Entrepreneurship, Joey Concepcion. PA Joey.
Hi.
Yes.
Good afternoon, Harry. Good afternoon.
Sinabi ko po kanina na itong project ninyo on food testing is a game changer. Pakisabi po sa ating mga nanonood ngayon, ano itong food testing at why is it a game changer? The floor is yours, PA Concepcion.
Katatapos lang yung press con namin. Halos almost 700 people attended the press con. So you can see yung interest ng mga LGUs, ng pribadong sector talagang very good, very high, no? At sumali dito si Dr. Raymond Law ng PSP, si Dr. Relaciones ng PCMC, of course Dr. Robert Padua, and RITM Dr. Amado Tandok and DOH. So number one, the most important thing is, yes, pool testing will work, and we will start with pools of 5. Anong ibig sabihin ng pools of 5? The research was done with pools of 5, 10, and 20. So 5 people to 1 test kit, basically, that 5 people or 10 people or 20 people. So nakikita natin sa Amerika, ang ginamit nila 4 people to a test kit, no? Dito sa Pilipinas, gagamitin namin 5 people or 5 samples to a test kit. Now, if a test kit tests positive, then you have to test everybody in that kit, no? But they will not have to swab because yung samples nandyan. So kukunin nila, what do you call this, they will keep the samples. So kung matest positive yung kit, then they will be able to test everybody in that using the samples, no, that they have. So hindi nila itatapon. So that's a good development. Kasi yung private sector right now, Harry, as we know, the President may announce whether we move to GCQ or stay where we are, no? At nakikita, dalawang strategy lang to. The first and most important strategy is massive targeted testing using antibody test kits nung dati ginamit natin nung March, nung lockdown natin kasi wala tayong capacity sa PCR. Ngayon, we've donated more equipments to the government hospitals, and now on top of individual PCR testing, we are moving towards pooled PCR testing. So and today, the results were pretty good. And they want to be conservative. They will start with pools of 5 first. Down the road, kung yung prevalence natin, yung infection level ay babaksak, then they can be more aggressive and increase that down the road to pools of 10. No? So that will bring down the cost to about 750 pesos in pools of 5. No? And then number 2, the most important is the speed of testing will be faster because you will have now 5 people to a test kit rather than 1 person to 1 test kit. So mas mabilis and the capacity will increase. So many were asking questions, no? And you can see the interest level. So ang priority namin, Makati muna, mauuna with the Mayor Binay, and then yung remaining cities, NCR at 1 municipality, is a supporter ng private sector. We have about 18 companies from the private sector who are going to support this program on the what we call research 2. No? So in our implementation ngayon to, pools of 5 within the cities of NCR because that's where the prevalence is the highest. No? And of course, the private sector is waiting on the wings because the return to work order na sinabi ni Secretary Bello is they prefer PCR testing. So this is another form. Kaysa 1:1 PCR testing, ito pools of 5 to 1 kit ang gagawin namin. No? So, and that's strategy number 1, no? Because without testing, you cannot trace and you cannot isolate and you cannot treat. So testing is critical here, visibility. Second strategy is that we have to be consistent, is you need testing to be able to determine the data of the infection level in the different barangays. So, yun ang kailangan localized granular lockdowns ng mga barangays, mga sitio. So, dalawa lang ang pag-isipan natin sa buong strategy on how to coexist with the virus. No? New ways of testing and database localized lockdown, no? Granularized lockdown. If we are able to do that perfectly, syempre sa testing sunod-sunod lahat, and tracing, isolating, etc., then I think we will be able to coexist with the virus and eventually beat the virus habang wala pang cure sa itong virus na to. No? So I was very happy with the press con today and the engagement of over close to 700 people who really attended from all sectors.
Siyempre po, no, itong pool testing, ibig sabihin times 5 na ang actual testing natin, divided by 5 na ang cost at mas mabilis. Pero bago po tayo pumunta sa open forum, and I hope you can stay for our open forum, PA Concepcion, Mayor Teodoro, ever since meron kayong sariling lab, magkakaroon pa ng food testing ngayon, ang tanong, kamusta po ang kakayahan ng mga lokal na pamahalaan gaya ng Marikina pagdating naman sa isolation? Habang mas maraming natay-test, mas maraming magpopositibo, dumadami rin ba ho ang ating isolation centers, Mayor Teodoro?
Tama po yan, Sir Harry, dahil dumadami po yung natetest natin. For example, sa Marikina po, on the average, daily, we could do PCR tests to 800 individuals. Ganun karami. Ang pinakamarami naming na-test nung nakaraang linggo, on the average is 800. Meron kaming 1,000 tests minsan nagawa sa isang araw. This is based on our aggressive contact tracing. Doon sa isang batch namin in 3 days, 2,465 tests. Meron kaming 68 positive doon. So we needed for that 68 to be isolated immediately. What is good is that we're able to put up some temporary quarantine facilities here in Marikina. Meron po kaming Marikina Hotel na kinonvert na namin na treatment and monitoring facility accredited by the DOH, as well as yung aming Marikina Convention Center with capacity of 200 beds. Tapos sa interim naming facility, meron kami siguro capacity na around 145 beds. Marami tayong full capacity na po ito, Secretary. And what is good is that the DPWH is building another treatment and monitoring facility for Marikina for another 145 bed capacity. Ang challenge po talaga ay nung magbukas po tayo ng ating ng trabaho, marami po sa amin pupunta sa ibang lugar, pumingling mo yung tao eh. I think there should also be data sharing among the LGUs eh. Yung residente ng Marikina, nagtatrabaho sa Makati, sa Taguig. So, yung aming testing, makikita namin, matitrace namin, as a source of infection is from another locality. So we forward those information to the concerned locality. Similarly, we offer our testing center to adjacent municipalities and cities in Marikina. Tulad ng Antipolo, San Mateo, minsan mga taga Quezon City, tinatanggap po namin dito magpa-test because we believe in the idea, kung safe po yung neighboring area namin, we will also be safe po. There should be a network of communities working together in testing and tracing. And similarly, hopefully, baka dumating na rin yung panahon that we could also share mga quarantine facilities through initiative of the LGUs here in our area, in Marikina and in the eastern part of Rizal.
Mayor, yung mga DepEd school buildings, kailan nyo po magagamit yan as isolation facilities?
Meron po kami request ng mga DepEd buildings, Sec Harry. Pero we're trying to maximize first the existing structures of the local government unit before we use the facilities of our schools. Dahil yung mga facilities natin ng school dito sa Marikina, Sec Harry, ay ginagamit for capacity building ngayon ng mga teachers in preparation for the opening of classes. Saka yung mga ganong activities sa Secretary. Pero we are prepared to use the school building in case that there will be a need.
Okay, maraming salamat. Pumunta na po tayo sa open forum. Wala akong cue card, so bahala na si Batman. No? Unahin natin si Joyce Balancio, DZMM. Go ahead please. At they requested, dahil 4 lang daw sila na online, if they could ask 4 questions, I think that's reasonable. You can have 4 questions, but I think Yusek Roque will still join us, no, for questions sent to her, no? Go ahead, Joyce.
Good afternoon po, Secretary Roque, and to our guests. Opo, sinabi po ng MMDA that the Metro Manila mayors are asking or recommending for a stricter GCQ after August 18. Pero ang gusto po nila, it's a restricted type of GCQ pa rin, opening of the economy, pero mas mahigpit. Kagaya daw po nung July 1 na in-implement natin. So as of now, nasa na po ang IATF in planning out the post-August 18 scenario. And ito po ba recommendation ng Metro Manila mayors? Is it similar to what we will be recommending to the President in a meeting later?
Well, kung sasagutin ko po yan, sinabi ko na kung ano magiging desisyon ni Presidente, no? So hayaan na muna natin, konting panahon na lang po yan. Pero ang masasabi ko lang po, ang IATF naman po, palagi pong kinukonsulta, lalong-lalo na ang mga Metro Manila mayors. Kasi sa Metro Manila, hindi mo naman po pwedeng i-isolate ang isang syudad, no? Dahil magkakatabi po yan, and it constitutes one geographic unit, no? So perhaps I can confirm na ang recommendation din ng mga mayor ay GCQ, pero yung GCQ po nung buwan ata ng Hunyo na mas mahigpit kaysa dun sa eventual na GCQ na pinapatupad ngayon. At yan naman po ay pinakinggan ng mabuti, ng masusi ng IATF at in-incorporate po yan sa kanilang rekomendasyon kay Presidente. Okay, next question.
Apo. Secretary Roque, si former DICT Acting Secretary Eliseo Rio posted on his Facebook account this weekend a message conveying his disappointments over IATF's recent decisions that he said have allegedly caused the rise of COVID-19 cases, permanent closure of businesses, health workers asking for a timeout, etc., etc. He emphasized po, Secretary Roque, the proposal he sent before sa IATF, but this was rejected by the gatekeepers of the IATF, and he said we are now suffering the consequences. Yung proposal daw po niya, it's being implemented effectively in other countries. He mentioned the gatekeepers of the IATF are preventing, allegedly, contributions of talented groups and individuals. Some proposals that are better than the systems we are using now. Any reaction po?
Ang alam ko, yung rekomendasyon ni former USEC ay bumuo ng bagong software. Pero ang kinakailangan natin yung software na meron na at gumagana. At ang naging decision po ay kunin yung offer ng safety.ph. Libre naman po ito, walang gastos sa gobyerno. At ngayon po, ginagamit ito o gagamitin ito in conjunction with yung libreng apps din ng Google at ng Apple. Nagkaroon lang po tayo ng mga kinakailangan plantsahin pagdating dun sa ating data privacy law. At naayos po yan kasi dinonate na ng safety.ph ang lahat ng informasyon o mga datos na makakalap niya sa ating gobyerno. Ang may hawak na po niyan ay DOH. So sa mga darating pong mga araw na lang, hindi po linggo, magkakaroon po tayo ng demonstration dito sa ating press briefing kung paano po gumagana yung safety.ph app in conjunction with the Google and Apple app na ginagamit po ngayon sa buong mundo. So ang alam ko po, ang papatupad natin ngayon is in sync with what many countries in the world are using. Dahil libre naman po yung programa na dinevelop jointly ng Google at ng Apple.
Follow-up ko lang dun, Secretary, sa first question ko. He mentioned po kasi that the gatekeepers of IATF are allegedly rejecting or preventing contributions of talented groups and individuals. Any reaction to this, sir?
Hindi naman po. Kaya lang, kinakailangan linawin lang dahil meron din tayong mga requirements pagdating sa procurement. Even if we have a Bayanihan 1 Act, one thing I discovered, kasi nga po tayo rin ang in charge sa strategic communication, na hindi pala ibig sabihin na may Bayanihan Act, pwede ka nang kumuha kahit kanino. I've had also to incur delay doon sa ad campaign na ilo-launch natin dahil ang ginawa namin, akala namin dahil may Bayanihan Act, pwede na lang kami magsabi, hoy, gawan mo ako ng ganitong ad at pag nandiyan na, pwede nang gamitin. Hindi pala ganon. Meron talagang proseso na dapat sundin, miski it is considered as an emergency procurement, and that caused delay of almost a month din dito sa ating proyekto na kaya na nating i-unveil. No? So yun lang po yung aking nadiskubre na even with Bayanihan Act that authorizes emergency purchases at hindi na po dapat dumaan sa lahat ng proseso ng 9184, meron pa rin pong proseso na nasusunod. Ang nangyari lang po siguro yung app na gusto ni Secretary Rio ay hindi po pwedeng pumasok even for purposes of emergency procurement. Meron pa rin po tayong mga rules that we need to comply with. Yun lang po.
Apo. Secretary Roque, si Attorney Larry Gadon, nag-trend po siya sa social media for not properly wearing his face mask. Nakatape, yung lumabas po na picture, nakatape po kasi yung face mask niya sa face shield. At ang explanation po niya, he does not believe that wearing face masks can prevent spread of COVID-19 and the government overreacted and paranoia lang daw po itong utos natin na gumamit tayo ng face mask. Ang sabi po niya, kung effective daw po ang face mask, baka daw po umaabot sa more than 100,000 ang COVID-19 cases. Curable daw po ang COVID. One should only take traditional Chinese medicine. Any reaction to these kinds of statements?
Hindi naman po doktor kasi si Larry Gadon, yan po panyero ko. So let that be his personal opinion. Pero ang mga doktor po, ang mga dalubhasa nagsasabi na ang pagsusuot po ng maskara can reduce the risk of acquiring the disease by as much as 85%. Kung sasamahan pa yan ng face shield, almost 90+% po ang probability na mapoprotektahan tayo laban sa COVID. Sana po wag na tayo mag-antay na tayo pa maging susunod na biktima. Alam na po natin yan sa buong mundo. Epektibo po ang pagsusuot ng face mask, paghuhugas ng kamay, at pagsusocial distancing.
Apo, last na po for me, Secretary talaga. Reaction po natin, sinabi po ng PhilHealth spokesperson in a interview this morning, yung EXECOM or yung Executive Committee ng PhilHealth, they will also be filing their leave of absence. Bukod pa po dito sa 6 vice presidents and also 14 PhilHealth officials, including their president, General Ricardo Morales, has also signed yung bank secrecy waivers. Reaction to this, sir, and how will this affect the ongoing investigation of our task group?
Hallelujah is all I have to say. That's good for them, good for the country.
Thank you, Secretary.
Okay, thank you. Now, pupunta tayo kay Yusek Roque if it is possible. Yusek Roque, are you on the house? Hello, are you in the house?
Yes.
Mukhang Yusek
Yes,
Roque
good
is not
morning.
in the house. So I don't know.
Good morning,
Siguro i-text nyo lang
Secretary.
sa akin yung mga tanong ng ibang miyembro ng Malacanang Press Corps. Let me see kung nasa akin nga. Dali lang po at check ko bago natin tawagan itong susunod na magtatanong. Wait, wait, ito, pinadala pala sa akin ng question. Wait, pero additional question to eh. Sandali, Well, as a Queenie, ayun. Ito. Okay, question, ito pala. So ako na rin magbabasa ng question, ha? Okay. Kung wala si Yusek Roque, ako na po magbabasa ng first question. Pinadala naman pula po nila. From Francis Wakefield of Tribune, can we get latest update on the condition, health status of the President following reports that he went to Singapore daw for medical treatment? Is there a need for concern po ba on the part of the people? Wala po. Lininaw ko po sa isang statement kahapon na fake news po yung pag-alis ng Pilipinas ng ating presidente. Nananatili po siya sa Davao, hindi po siya umalis ng Pilipinas, and his health is fine. Kung kami po hindi nagtuloy ng Davao because nag-positive nga po si Secretary Anyo, it's just concern also for the health of the president and in compliance with health protocols. Kasi ang sabi naman po ng health protocols natin, mag-isolate yung mga nagkaroon ng close contact with COVID positive. So kaya nga po nandito tayo kung broadcast po tayo ngayon. No? Next question also from Francis Wakefield. Halos 2 weeks na since MECQ was enforced sa NCR and for other provinces and yet COVID cases on a daily basis has not gone down. Will this be a factor in PRD's decision to extend NEGCQ or balik GCQ given na apektado na talaga ang ekonomiya? Well, alam niyo po, ang tinitingnan natin ay yung case doubling rate at saka yung clusters of COVID cases sa Metro Manila at saka tinitingnan din natin yung critical care capacity. Now, so far po, hindi naman po lumalala ang ating case doubling rate at dahil nga po today, August 17, nag-inaugurate tayo ng 250-bed capacity dyan sa East Avenue Medical Center na that will cater exclusively to COVID patients. Naging naibsan po yung ating critical care capacity pero mga nakalipang araw, hindi naman po siya nasa danger level. No? So wala po sa danger level ang critical care capacity natin in the past few days at lalo pang bumuti ang health care capacity with a 250-bed additional COVID beds at East Avenue Medical Center. So ang sagot, of course, the cases will always have an impact on the decision. Pero sa tingin ko po, alam na natin na magtatagal ang COVID sa buong mundo at hindi lang sa Pilipinas. at alam na natin kung paano mabuhay with, despite, and in spite of COVID. Is it true that PRRD had a meeting with Mayor Miswari Sunday afternoon? If yes, napag-usapan ba yung tungkol sa ASG leader na si Edang Susukan, other issues? Wala pong katotohanan na nagkaroon ng meeting si Presidente kay Nur Miswari. Now, I call on Joseph Morong now, GMA. Joseph.
Hi sir, good afternoon. Hi.
Go ahead.
Ayan. Sir, yun po muna kay Sec Anyo. Sino po sa inyo ang mga naka-self-isolate because he had a meeting with the President August 10? That's the reference point. And if you are on self-isolation, is the President also on self-isolation because he was in the meeting during on August 10?
Well, ako kasi, the reason why I went on self-isolation, it's a personal decision kasi kasabay ko rin sa eroplano si Sec Anyo. Pero ang presidente naman po, technically, wala siyang close contact. And kung we will go by the book, hindi siya nag-close contact dahil malayo po kami lahat kay presidente at naka-face shield at saka naka-face mask. No? Pero I believe the others po are also on self-isolation now. No? Even if it is not required. Ako po kasi, bilang tagapagsalita, I need to serve by way of example to others. No? Na since I had close contact na rin po yun kasi nasa eroplano kami, magkasabay kami sa eroplano, no? Mabuti pang mag-isolate. Pero mag-isolate po ako 5 days, tapos magpapa-PCR po ako para malaman kasi ang sabi nila, effective naman daw ang at accurate ang PCR test 5 days upon contact.
Yeah. Sir, pero I think the definition of DOH pag close contact is that if you are in the same room for more than 15 minutes, and then you are at some kind of distance, I'm sure the President and Secretary Anyo interacted. So, well, that's the first point. And then
the President is in perpetual isolation because no one can come close to him. I think sinabi ko na sa inyo, then whenever we meet with him, there is a velvet rope, no, that keeps him at least 6 feet away from everyone else. No? So no one can really come close to the President. So I guess my answer is he's in perpetual isolation in the sense that PSG has done a very good job in making sure that no one really comes close to the President.
And we don't need to PCR test the President.
He does undergo regular PCR tests. Nagrereklamo siya nga no, dahil paulit-ulit na yung pagsundot sa ilong niya. No? The last time I heard him, sundot na naman ako ng ilong. No? And I think it's also because it's a requirement of Davao City Mayor Sara, no, whenever he goes back to Davao, and he complies with the requirements of the local government.
Sir, okay, question ko po sa MECQ. Yun pong mga researchers from UP Octa Research, I'm sure you're familiar with them, no? If we go by the two data analytics that you mentioned, critical care capacity at saka yung case doubling, medyo okay pa siya. But yung positivity rate, it has 17. Critical care facility utilization is in danger yung at least 8 LGUs in Metro Manila. So it doesn't look good as far as our decision to extend or whether to extend the MECQ or not based on the data of the researchers.
Well, I differ po doon sa sinasabi nila na dangerous on the 8 LGUs kasi meron na po tayong one hospital command center. So sa atin po, because of the one hospital command center, we're utilizing all our bed capacities as if we have one giant hospital in the entirety of Metro Manila and including even the bed capacity of the adjoining provinces. So meron po tayong effective referral system na kung puno na sa isang ospital, alam nila yung susunod na pinakamalapit na ospital na pupuntahan. Kinakailangan lang gamitin ng ating mga mamamayan yung hotline para alam nila kung saan sila pupunta. Yan lang po yung paraan para maiwasan yung pila sa ER, no? At kung tatawagan nyo naman po yung hotline, hindi lang kayo pipila dahil alam nyo na kung saan pupunta. And of course, I have to add that today we're inaugurating 250 beds exclusively for COVID in East Avenue. So that would debunk the claim that we are at a dangerous level as far as critical care capacity is concerned. Hindi po. Ang solution po dyan, critical care capacity, dagdagan ng mga kama. Ang una pong na-inaugurate today, 250 bed capacity. Kasama rin po dyan yung mga ICU units. Ang susunod po, additional ICU beds. Dyan po sa Quirino, dyan po sa PGH. No? At ang susunod po dyan, 500 bed capacity isolation rooms na dinonate po ng Razon Group dyan po sa Nayong Pilipino. Lahat po yan may inaugurate in the coming weeks. Yung isolation facility po for 500, I understand it will take them 2 weeks to set up the tent, no? And to install all the equipment needed.
So mukhang GCQ tayo, sir. And a related question, sir, clarification.
Hindi ako sumagot na GCQ tayo, ha? I'd like to clarify, wala akong sinabing ganyan. Medyo confusion.
Of course. Sir, ganito, clarification, the meeting is tonight and the announcement is tonight or tomorrow?
Well, let's hope that the meeting does not take long because there will still be a meeting and it's the meeting that takes long. The message of the President at the end of the meeting is normally short, but siguro I will prompt everyone, tapusin na natin ng maaga. Kasi pag Viber, pag Zoom, we generally tend to be straight to the point, wala nang meandering, no? So baka naman mas maaga mabigay ang anunsyo.
So tonight the meeting, tonight the announcement, yeah?
Well, I can't assure you that tonight will be the announcement, but the meeting will be tonight.
All right, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, we go back to the questions. Let me see. I miss Yusek Rocky reading the questions. Wait lang po. Okay. Ito po. From Mylene Alfonso of Bulgar, Senator Francis Kiko Pangilinan questioned the designation of cabinet officials as big brothers in charge of the respective LGUs, saying they instead need competent and upright national government leaders in dealing with COVID-19 pandemic. Micromanagement daw ang ginawa ng national government sa pagtatalaga ng mga cabinet members sa mga LGUs at action please. Alam niyo naman, malapit na electionist itong si Senator Pangilinan. Di ako nagtataka sa mga maanghang na salita niya. Pero if you go by the track record of his own party, in similar disasters, his own party had dismal performance. So ang sagot ko lang po dyan, everyone's doing their best dahil kapag tayo po ay pumalya, baka sariling pamilya rin namin na mag-suffer sa COVID. Wala pong such a thing as natutulog sa pansitan dahil lahat po tayo under threat from COVID. We all have families, we all have to take care of them. So all members of the ITF give it their best shot because they know eventually it may enter their homes. So ganyan pong kadedicated ang miyembro ng mga ITF knowing na ang susunod na biktima ay po pwedeng kapamilya nila. Nagbabala si Senator Richard Gordon na mapipilitan silang ipatigil ang COVID-19 testing ng Philippine Red Cross kapag hindi nagbabayad ngayong araw ang PhilHealth ng kanilang balanse na abot sa halos 1 bilyong piso. Paano ito mababayaran? Paano na rin ang free swab testing para sa returning overseas Filipino workers who have been displaced by the pandemic? Well, in answer to the threat, no, there are now in excess of 101 laboratories doing PCR testing. At in fact, while the PNRC is still the biggest testing center, accounting for around 12% of the market, yung susunod po is around 11% of the market. No? At yung susunod na 11% sa market caters almost exclusively to seamen, no? Dahil sila po yung mga umaakit ng mga barko. So ang sa akin po, hindi naman po tayo magkakaroon ng highest actual testing PCR test being conducted kung umaasa lang tayo sa isang laboratory. Hindi na po, 101 million, although malaking kawalan po yan pag tumigil ang PNRC. At ang masasabi ko lang po, now that the focus is on PhilHealth, maaasahan naman siguro natin na maiiwasan yung delays sa pag-reimburse ng PhilHealth. Pero sana, paalalahanan ko rin po ang PNRC, dati-dati naman po, nagkaroon na rin naman ng advance ang gobyerno sa kanila. So kung medyo naantala po, konting pasensya lang po. And I'm sure that because PNRC is led by Senator Richard Gordon,